I'm sharing the screen now. We look into the next IPR. Actually, this is trademark. It is also important. It's also similar to patents and copyright. Important. Okay. You can see two symbols, right? TM and R. You would have seen these symbols in most of the places. Like when you apply for a trademark, the symbol TM is given to your whatever you applied for, either the logo or the mark. They provide it as TM. Once it has been granted, once the trademark has been granted, the second symbol, registered trademark, R has been registered. The symbol changes from TM to R. R means it's been granted. From the date of grant, what happens is like you can have the trademark for 10 years, and every 10 years you can start actually renewing your trademark till when like it's like you need not change it, or there is not a limited period of time like 20 years for a patent. You can keep renewing your trademark. Okay. What is a trademark actually? It's actually given for a symbol, a word, or a group of words for describing a particular product, or a well-established method, or for representing a product or your organization or a company. It's actually, trademark is basically used for promoting your brand, promoting your product. Like it's for branding purpose, so it's for advertising, like for showing your uniqueness, your distinct features, and to be available in the market, and also to, what to say, infringers shouldn't be using the same mark. So to avoid that also, you have a particular mark for your brand. Okay. For your business, it's actually, in simple terms, we can say that a trademark is a brand or a logo which completely represents your business. Okay. It can be in a visual, it can be a visual symbol. A signature can also be a trademark. A name, a device can be a trademark. A name can be a trademark. A label can be a trademark. Like clothing comes with a label, right? The label is a trademark. Also, a combination of numerals can be a trademark for certain services or goods. Like trademarks can be provided for your business. The business in the sense like for your product also, as well as for a service you are offering also. It can be provided either for the goods. Goods means the product, and for the services. Okay. Actually, these marks are generally provided to clearly distinguish it from similar goods. For example, you have many brands of shoe companies, many brands of like any business for any like any, for example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. They are both beverages, and but they have a specific distinguished trademark, like which distinguishes its country of origin. Also, it distinguishes the quality also. So Pepsi is different, Coca-Cola is different, but both are in the similar industry. So in any similar industry, when there are several services or several goods, what you have to do is you have to have a differentiating or a distinguishing factor so that your business is protected and also promoted. Again, as I said, it can be a word, symbol, logo, name, a wrapper also. A wrapper can be a trademark. Okay, packaging materials can be also a trademark, and this is used actually. So, like if at all a packaging label or a packaging method is taken for a trademark, what happens is it is actually used by the manufacturers to identify their own product. They will know, like if this material or this packaging label is used, it is their product. So even for the owner also, it's a distinguished factor, right? It distinguishes each and every separate business in the industry. Okay, as known like Coca-Cola and Pepsi are a good example for this. Similarly, like trademark, like copyrights, patents, and trademarks can be applied by any individual. Like any person can go and apply, because it is all like the next one, the next IP is geographical indications, which cannot be applied by any individual. It is for a particular area. So to a distinguished factor is like any individual can go and apply for a trademark. The only thing is he has to own the product or he has to own the business. If either the case, he can go and directly apply for a trademark. He has to be an individual. Like a criteria, like criterias can be he needs to be an individual or a company or a legal entity, and he has to prove that he's the owner of the trademark which he's going to apply for. Similarly, like patents and copyrights, there is an application for trademarks which can be filed in the patent office. Okay. Uh, what they do is like individual can go and apply his logo in directly in the patent office, like in the IPO, or what happens is he can apply it through a trademark attorney or a trademark professional who is actually practicing in trademark field. What they can do is what the first title, like how patents are, you have to search completely whether this trademark is already been registered. The trademark has already been applied for. Like Indian Patent Office, when you're applying any logo or like you're applying for a trademark, there is ipindia.nic.in where each and everything can be searched before you take it. Like patents can be searched. Also trademarks can be searched, designs can be searched. Okay. There is an option for searching, like whether this logo is already there. Like searching can be done based on the words you use. Like whatever the trademark can be, you're going to protect it under some particular category, right? Either it's a food or beverage, or it's a garment, or a service. Like whatever area you are actually protecting your mark under a specific category. So once you take the trademark, first you do is you do a complete search using the trademark registry website. You completely search and identify what are the trademarks which are already available in this category, and then you go for applying a trademark. Okay. Generally, unlike patents, patent is the only IP where the process is very long. Like it takes from 3 years to 5 years. But trademarks and all, within 8 to 24 months, it will be granted. Like you can start registering it. The trademark registry actually from the filing date, like from the date of filing your trademark in the patent office, they take a minimum of 8 months and a maximum of 1 year, and you immediately, even if it's not granted within a year, what happens is they give you a response, like first examination report. They also offer an examination report, and also there is an option for hearing, like you can showcase your trademark and then you can take it further. So it is generally like a minimum is 8 months and maximum is 24 months for your grant. Okay. From the time of the grant, what happens is you can start like TM. When you apply for a trademark, you have to use the symbol TM. Once the trademark is granted, you can remove TM and start using our registered mark. From then, it's like your logo has been registered. No one can misuse your logo. Till it's registered, anyone can infringe it, right? Once it has been registered, it is like only you can use the logo, and anyone who's infringing or actually copying your trademark and using it, it's a complete offense, and you can get released from them. Okay. So like the major function of a trademark is what? It identifies your service and it identifies your product and from where it is originating, like who is the owner. So generally trademarks are conferred for establishing the quality, like the quality of the product, like the quality of a particular product is high, and the quality, like a person is going to infringe and copy the trademark and use it for a low quality product, so it is an offense, right? So the trademark protects this, like it protects you from copying, like a business, complete method of business or the quality you are using, it cannot be copied by someone else, and it confers full protection for the logo. So your business is improved. The advertisement of the service of the product is also improved. Okay. As I told, trademarks can be of any image, symbol, monograms. It can also be suggestive marks. For example, you can suggest what the product is actually to the consumer who's going to buy it. It can be a description of the product also, or just even also an audio can be a trademark, or just the sound can be a trademark, or some anything like fanciful marks are also there, where it actually, for example, the well-known example is Apple, like computer products with the name of Apple. It's actually catchy, right? So these are all arbitrary or fanciful marks. Suggest remark. These are types of marks, and before you do anything, you have to search it. You have to completely search it. For example, Apple has been used by laptops, right? Apple symbol has already been considered for electronic goods. Like the same symbol Apple cannot be used for any other goods also. Like not just for the same domain, it cannot be taken for other category also. For example, you cannot use Apple now. Now, after it's been registered, you cannot use the Apple symbol or the Apple name for garment industry. So it is already like registered, right? So you cannot use it for other industry. Trademark filing is also simple, similar to not to patent. Patents is quite complicated. Trademark is similar to copyrights. What you do is you create the logo. They have the patent office has a specific dimensions and measurements for creating your logo or creating your symbol or your slogan. Whatever it is, you have a specific measurement in which you provide it, and there has to be a name and address of the trademark owner and what class it comes under. Like what is the classification? Either it's a household appliances, or it comes under service industry, or it comes under machinery. Like whatever the product category can be, any trademark while you are going to register, you have to provide a class, like under which class it comes. All this is available in the trademark government website itself. The IPO office provides a complete list of classification for into which your trademark is going to come, and from when you are going to use the trademark, if it's already in use, or when you are going to propose it, like you are going to plan use it after getting a grant, anything. Like you can mention from when you are going to use it, and a brief description on the product or the service you are providing, like a brief description to make the examiner in the trademark registry to understand, like 1 or 2 lines. Unlike patents, patents is the complete idea, right? So you actually entirely document it, and copyrights you are providing the entire material so that it has to be checked whether it's imitated or copied. Here you just provide a logo, right? A logo cannot completely disclose the information, so you have to provide a brief description uh, on the product you are using or the services you are going to provide. It has to be described, and also the class has to be mentioned in the application form itself. Trademark filing can be done by the individual. Either the individual can go and file the trademark directly into the patent office, or the trademark attorney can do it for him. Like same way, patents can be filed by the individual, or a patent agent or patent attorney can do it for you. Like in every case, like patents, trademarks, copyright, like there is a fee. Like there is an official fee, right? This official fees differs for each category. Like if an individual is going and registering a trademark in the trademark office, the fee is different. But if he's registering under a company name, like either if it's a startup, it's a different fee. If it's a large entity, if it's an established corporate, it is a different fee. So according to the fees prescribed by the patent office, you have to register your symbol or the logo under the trademark section. Okay, yeah, this can be done like how I mentioned. It can be done by you, or it can be done with the help of a trademark attorney. What will happen is if you are doing once you have submitted, the original representation sheet will be given to you, and trademark will give you trademark office will give you an application number where you have registered, and from 18 months any time it will be granted. If at all there are objections in the sense the controller can also raise objections while he's searching, the examiner, or also any opposing person who's interested. Like I have a trademark which is similar to this. Like I am owning a trademark which is already registered. I am actually using it. I can actually oppose once it is published. Once it is published, I can go and oppose it and ask the controller in writing. I can provide the controller with evidence, everything, and I can ask him to completely take it from his like usage. Like he should stop using, the person who's applied should stop using it, and completely it can be rejected on that time itself. Like objection can be rejected. And if this is the case, they will also call the trademark whoever has registered a trademark for a hearing. Like they will ask, like any opposition, they will not take a decision based on just the opposition. They will ask you, they'll have call you for the hearing, and then they will either accept it, reject it, or object providing you. Okay. So similarly to patents, these are also, trademarks are also exclusive rights which actually prevents others from actually marketing your products under the same name, or actually not just the same name, actually confusingly similar mark can also, like a slight change should also not be done. Like confusingly similar mark or under the same name, both shouldn't be used. Okay, so what happens is if you register a mark, it actually secures your investment. It completely secures your investment and the marketing efforts you take. Like once it is protected under a specific logo or a brand, like it's easy to market, right? Like in this brand, if this is the brand, if this is a logo, you can go for it. They have a good quality. If, oh, this mark, okay, fine, this is the best quality I have seen. So the mark actually distinguishes the brand, and actually it provides, like if you have a good quality, you can immediately protect it through your trademark. Also, what it covers is like it provides access to relevant markets also, and also business. Like business improves well if you protect your trademark. And through the trademark, what you can do is you can offer the trademark through agreements. For example, few branding, cloth branding companies, or like beverages store. What they do is the person who owns the trademark will have only a particular shop in some place, or a franchise can be developed through agreements. The other person who wants to, like, since because of the quality and because of the brand which has been established, and also because this brand has a good market, what happens is people start getting license and franchise agreement from the person, and they start using the same mark under the agreement. This is done like if a person is wants to develop, like he wants to just promote a business and generate income, he doesn't have a proper brand for himself, or he doesn't have a proper goods or services through which he can create or develop a brand. What he does is a well-established trademark, a well-established business can be given for franchise, or it can be provided for licensing, and then he can proceed his business with the same name. The entire information, the entire product will be the owner, like a trademark owner will have the entire product. Only the sales and only the profit can be shared by the licensee. Okay. The license, like this can be also in any time. Like once he has provided a franchise, it can be actually maintained, or it can be refused anytime also. Okay. Then the way you use your trademark should be very important. Like for example, if you're going to sell a product, like if you're going to sell a table, you shouldn't use table as the trademark. There is no value addition, right? If you are going to sell chocolates, you cannot sell it as sweets, right? Actually, there should be a specific logo or a name which has to be created, which actually distinguishes the product. Chairs or tables cannot be sold under the trademark name chairs and tables. You should have a representative mark, an exclusive mark, which can be used by the owner. Okay. These are important points to be noted during applying for a trademark. There like even for smells they provide trademark. Okay, a particular brand products with a smell, the same smell. If the smell is actually unique, it's a distinguishing factor. then a smell can be also used as your trademark. In general, what trademark is like, it's generally for branding, completely for branding your product. Like what happens, like a successful branding, how does it happen? It catches the consumer or the customer very easily. Like if it's going to like if it's going to catch the curiosity of the customer, easily you can promote your product. So a logo or a trademark or the symbol has to be good for your, it's for the brand purpose. Branding, you know, right? It's a process by which name or identity is being promoted. Either the organization or the product is getting promoted. So while choosing a trademark, you have to, it should be aesthetic. It should catch the consumer because it is going to reach the consumer directly through advertisements, through posters, through usage everywhere. Like it should catch the eye immediately, and the quality should be registered. So what is needed for a proper branding and proper trademark is like, first you need to know the complete knowledge, like what is already existing, what is outside, like what is already protected under the same label, and your relevance, like relevance in the sense in which area you're going to protect, and what is the distinguishing or the differentiation factor. That is very important. Like only if you have a distinguishing factor, then the trademark is well protected. Otherwise, if it doesn't have a proper or difference, and a trademark is already existing, and you do not have a proper differences with the existing mark, that is of no use, right? It's already established. A mark is already established, so the consumers are going for the other product and they will not come for your product. So while choosing a trademark, first do a search properly and create the logo which is really catchy, and actually consumer with the logo, the branding, the consumer should get attracted, and then search completely whether something is existing or you're infringing some mark, and then proceed for applying. Okay, once applied, generally, as I mentioned, it's a very like it's a quick process. Like within 8 months also you can register your trademark, or it might take 1 or 2 years, but not like patents. Like patents completely takes 3 to 5 years in general. So as I mentioned, like these like copyrights, trademarks, and patents are really important, and can be done by any individual. There are a few cases which happened. One of like very important or famous cases, like with Coca-Cola company and Bisleri. Like the case was actually was developed by Coca-Cola. Okay, what they did was they gave the formulation rights and bottling rights to Bisleri International Private Limited. What happened is Maza can be sold. Okay, this mango fruit drink can be sold. What the Bisleri did was, what they did was they started using Masa without permission in Turkey. The business can be done only like if a company is giving you rights to have your business in a particular area, you can do the business only in that area. If you are taking the business without their permission to another region, completely within another region, it is completely violating the trademark. So they can actually uh, claim a permanent injunction and infringement damages for actually passing off. This is called passing off the trademark because it was not actually given permission to do it outside India, right? So they cannot do it. And in any case, anything like patent has been limited to a territory, within the territory. Similarly, whatever permission you have to, like any IP patent, generally it's within India. Like if you own a patent, it's only protected within India. You cannot take the same patent outside India. So wherever the limitation is, you have to follow it. Like you cannot use it outside India without the permission. Only if permission is granted, you can take it. Similarly, GoDaddy is like they provide domain names, right? What happened was they started giving similar domain names. For example, 2011 Oscars.com, Oscar Academy Awards, Oscars.com. All this cannot be easily used, right? It's already an existing well-known term. So these are called confusingly similar terms, which shouldn't be actually used. So you can raise like if it's going to be similar, it's confusing, like either this brand or this brand, same kind of word, same kind of color, shape, if same kind of slogans are also used, you can actually take it to the court. You can actually oppose it and you can claim infringements on the product. Okay, any product which is has a confusingly similar terms can be taken for cases. Okay, if you are interested in case studies, you can check for many cases. There are several cases in trademarks, in copyrights, and in patents also. Like cases in general, it's for people who like are into the domain. So I'm not elaborating more on cases, because a person who's into the domain and who's actually practicing law will be able to completely get the complete picture of the cases. In general, one case which I can tell is like neem case for patents. Like neem and turmeric are a part of traditional knowledge of Indians. Okay, what happened was US, they started taking the traditional knowledge. Traditional knowledge cannot be patented in India. It is not allowed. Okay, what they did was this turmeric and neem, they started taking it outside India. In US, they actually claimed it for wound healing purposes, which is not at all allowed, right? So what happened was a case was filed from CSIR India. They filed it against them, and then the patent was revoked and the damages were claimed. So anything like we have, while in this area, when we are actually having a product or an idea, we should have to be like completely like aware, monitor, supervise, and due diligently check every now and then whether a product has been misused. You can have a team, like there are several consultants who provide watching services. Like every month they keep updating, like this is happening, this is like someone is infringing yours, it's not been infringed, someone else is trying to do it, they have a pipeline product. If you are carefully like managing your IP, no problems would arise. But otherwise, there are several cases, like many cases are there between actually several cases in engineering domain or in software is like between Samsung and Apple. They have, for each and every feature, they have a case happening. Like trademark, they do not have much cases, but for each and every new feature or additional feature, they have a case. Like button or a camera or a feature which provides augmented reality, an application which can be used in a particular mobile. Everything they have a case. So if you are interested in cases, you can check them. Otherwise, this is in general about trademarks. We'll check for geographical indications. It's actually applicable. It's not applicable to a person or an individual. Like it's for the territory. Like yesterday when I said, it's because like only if it's grown in that particular. I gave an example, Darjeeling tea yesterday. Only if it's growing in that particular area, it gives the flavor and aroma. Similarly, you can see few examples here also. Mysore silk, Karnataka. Silk is actually like the process we know, right? It is being done from silkworms. Silkworms which are grown in that particular temperature, in that particular area, and the incubation, like it happens, like the cocoons come out, right? Like if it's happening in that area, it is different, and the same process cannot be done in a different area. It will not yield the same result. So these are confined to the geography. For example, a particular Kanchipuram silk and Mysore silk, there is a difference, right? Similarly, when basmati rice also, like if it's grown in India and Pakistan, it gives a different flavor, and it's taken and grown outside India, it is completely a different flavor. And there are also cases and geographical indications, but it is not completely applicable to researchers or like any individual. So geographical indication is completely for the area and for the government, like country of origin. Like who does it is like entirely the government. It's completely marked by the government. It's completely the value created or the money generated. It's completely for that area. Darjeeling tea, it's only for that confined geography, right? It is not going to be given to a particular individual or any particular person. Okay. As you can see, it's a sign used on products that have a specific geographical origin and possess qualities or reputation that are due to that origin. Only if it's grown or developed in that particular origin, it gives that end product. Otherwise, the taste or the flavor or the quality, it differs. Okay. So this is actually developed due to its characteristics and reputation. Like if a silk has been manufactured in Mysore or Kanchipuram, if people start buying that silk, a reputation develops, right? It gets built up, right? So then only they go for any product in some area cannot be given geographical indication. Only if there is a reputation and only if it has a quality which has been distinct from other places, then it will be given a GI. Okay. Hmm. Actually, Darjeeling tea Darjeeling tea is the well-known example. So uh, no one can actually use the same name for actually even in Darjeeling. Not everyone can use the name Darjeeling tea. Okay, only the producers in that particular area who's been given the particular mark, GI mark, can actually do it. And once there is a GI, there are particular standards in which that particular product has to be made. Like you have a specific methods, protocols, standard operating procedures through which it has to be made. Otherwise, it will be not considered to be a GI. For example, if you want to manufacture silk in Mysore or in Kanchipuram, what you do is for attaining this GI mark, they have a list of operating procedures. And only when you practice this and only when the product is developed by these means, then you can get a GI. Otherwise, even that can be taken for duplication. Okay. Generally, like how ideas are given patents and how creations and paintings are provided copyrights and businesses are provided with trademarks, foodstuffs and agriculture products, handicrafts and industrial products are given geographical indications, because since it's an agriculture, it's grown in a particular area. Foodstuffs, it can be done in a particular area. Rasagulla had a case, I think West Bengal was conferred with Rasagulla, I think. And specifically handicrafts, any specific product like foodstuffs can be provided with geographical indication. Like ideas can be protected through patents, foodstuffs and origin, like from where they are originating, it can be provided with geographical indication. This is completely a mark. Like how they do is like GI. The mark will be in the form of GI, and products with this mark will be coming from that area, from that origin. Okay. Actually, this as patents give benefit to the owner, copyrights to the owner, GI gives benefits to that particular area completely. It's like, and it's not owned by an individual, right? So it promotes the economy. Actually, economic development is more when it's because that complete area is getting promoted. Like unlike patent, only the holder will have the monetary benefits, right? Unless he licenses or he has a collaboration. But GI mark, the complete area, like the board, the complete area will get a benefits. Yeah, like Darjeeling case. Actually, Darjeeling case is also a famous case. Darjeeling tea, I kept on saying about it. What happened was a company started using Darjeeling for some other purpose. Darjeeling tea is for, actually it is being used for tea purpose, but the same term that GI has been used for promoting travel agency. A travel agency with the name Darjeeling started promoting their product, and this was taken up as a case, and the registered GI was hampered, and the rights were actually like because it is misleading, right? So it was actually from ITC, it was taken to Tea Board of India. Tea Board of India has this Darjeeling tea brand. ITC was using it for another purpose, and Tea Board actually regained its name back. This is one of the case in GI. Then domain names. Actually, domain names are actually not completely part of IPR. It's not a completely protected under IPR, but domain names can be like it can be considered as trade name in specific cases. For example, you have a domain name, right? For any particular business, it can promote a business. It can be also considered as a trademark in few cases. So it shouldn't be copied. So to protect your domain names, um, you have to actually, like, you do not have a proper way of applying for a domain name and registering. It is you have to do it by yourself. What I'm saying is that Indian Patent Office does not provide any methods for doing like protecting your domain name. You have to register your domain name, but when a domain name is being copied, then you can take it. Like if it's been copied, the name, the logo, if it's been copied by another person, another business person, you can actually file a case against them. But generally it is used for, like, it's an address, like domain names are addresses, and it is used to locate location. The main purpose is locating a particular object, or names which can be easily like, it should be like the names have to be, the domain name has to be easily remembered by the person. It should not be copied from anywhere, and it is easy for locating the computers connected to an internet. So this is the main purpose, and it is mainly for using it in the internet. It is domain names are not going to be used as a business strategy for marketing your product. Just to, like, a same, for example, Yahoo India, Yahoo.India cannot be used, right? It will actually confuse the person who is going to use it, right? So for distinguishing it, you have to use, for example, um facebook.com. You cannot use face.book.com, right? It is actually confusing domain name, right? So there is a case also, like book my show and book my sports. These two are like the, the complaint was like, it's similar. Book my show, bookmysports.com. Both are similar. That was the complaint. But actually, book my sports, the word is entirely different. So there must be a difference. But similar name shouldn't be there, or confusingly similar name shouldn't be, like book my dot show shouldn't be there, but book my show and book my sports, it's different, right? So that difference can be there. Okay. So while choosing a domain name, you have to be like specific, like what kind of IP address you are supplying, what kind of like it's being going to be used in the address bar, like for the users to type your domain name. What happens is that you have to be very specific, and it shouldn't copy anything, and it shouldn't be redirected to some other domain also. So you have to be very careful in choosing your domain name. This domain name has been provided in IP because it is actually, like, few domain names actually promote IP, right? They actually promote your IP. So it's been given for promoting your IP, like promoting your business to trademarks. So uh, this is what domain names are. It is not actually a completely intellectual property, right? But it can be an IP. Like the way you are providing your domain names is also important. That's all. If you have any questions, you can. Any questions? You can take up. You can write more questions.
Sure, Divya. Thank you so much. Thank you for the fantastic webinar. I mean, for doing these 5 sessions in one series. It was amazing. So, thank you very much. I hope everyone enjoyed listening to the webinar as much as we enjoyed delivering it. We are always looking forward to continuously improve our content and what we bring to the community. So please feel free to leave your feedback, inquiries, and service requirements at info@brainaura.com. which is info@brainaura.com. Yeah. So I hope you had a good time. Do check out our website too. It's www.brainaura.com. You could connect with us on popular social media platforms as well. We go by the handle at the Brainaura. We are soon launching paid webinars that will focus exclusively on patent drafting. Since you all showed interest in IPR and related topics, we would be more than happy to offer this webinar to you at a huge discounted price. So if you are interested, all you have to do is drop an email at info@brainaura.com, and we will just take it from there. So if it interests you, do let us know, and we'll be sure to surprise you with a good discounted price. And do watch our online space for upcoming virtual events. We keep bringing interesting things to the community around the year. So stay tuned. Thanks for being such a wonderful audience. See you soon in another session. Bye.